Hello, hi, good afternoon, all that good stuff. Yeah, so okay, because I was thinking, right? I am going to do a recording for the story of Joseph, but I'm not just going to do Joseph's story, telling his story, yabba dabba do. I'm going to read it from the Bible. It is a few chapters. However, prior to that, I do want to give a little backstory on his parents, right? And ironically, with his parents, here's the thing. His dad had a brother named Esau. So it was Jacob and Esau. Right? And Jacob's mother loved him more than Esau. So she had him do a lot of shiesty cornball stuff. Like she had him steal Esau's blessing from their dad. So karma, right? Yeah. So from him stealing the blessing from his brother, being swizzled out of, whatever through the mom, the spirit that was operating through her, let's understand that. This caused the brother to become so resentful. This caused Esau to become so resentful to Jacob that he wanted to kill him. So, the mom, because she loved Jacob, she's like, yo, just go into hiding until your brother cool down. So Jacob goes on the run into hiding. And in that process, he meets this guy who has these two daughters, Rebecca and Leah. Right? And Leah was, from the description given in the Bible, Leah was cross-eyed. But Rebecca was beautiful. So Jacob wanted Rebecca. And, the dad of these two ladies, he saw the favor that was on Jacob's life because that was a part of the blessing that his dad gave him before he passed. Because his dad had a whole blessing on his life from God. It's a whole deep, right? Right. And, but Jacob too, he ended up wrestling with the angel. Till daybreak, he wrestled with an angel and was like, yo, I'm not releasing you until you give me my blessings. And that's what some of us really have to do. We really got to wrestle with the angel till daybreak, just on some dedicated, But yeah, so Jacob, Rebecca and Leah's dad saw the favor that was on Jacob's life. So they his dad made a deal with him because they was conversing. But when I do the reading, I'll actually pull it up from the Bible verbatim. This is just me doing a quick chitty chat session, right? So feel free to check out that video when it's posted. But this is a chitty chat. The dad swizzled Jacob because remember, Rebecca was beautiful. Jacob actually liked her. So because he liked her, right, him and the dad made a deal on some yo, Jacob was like, I'll work for you for 7 years if you give me Rebecca. And the dad was like, okay, bet. Happily jumped on it, right? So he works for the dad for the 7 years. The dad finesses him and gives him Leah. And Jacob is like, yo, bro, WTF, because what's going on here? I asked for Rebecca. The agreement was on Rebecca. What are you doing giving me Leah? So the dad tried to play him, talking about, oh, well, in our customs, we can't give away the younger daughter without giving away the older daughter, because Leah was actually older than Rebecca. So he had to marry Leah, but he had to end up working another 7 years before he even got Rebecca. Now, in the process of him getting Leah, he slept with her, of course. That's his wife. And from him sleeping with her, she had kids. Now, this is the point that I wanted to drive to, right? When she had these kids, well, when he had these kids, when they had these kids, there was, first of all, no genuine love between them because, remember, Leah was not even the one who Jacob wanted. He wanted Rebecca, right? So because there was no genuine love he had for her, there was no genuine love he could pour in her, if you guys can read between the lines, right? To the extent that the children he had from her ended up becoming bitter kids. And what do I mean by this? To the point where, like, because when he did finally get Rebecca, like, he ended up having a total of, I think, 12 kids total. Because he had some kids with maid servants and all of that. So, from the amount of, kids he had total, it came out to like 12. But Jacob, yes, he did have 12. See, I knew I wasn't bugging. Right. The sons of Leah was Reuben, the firstborn, then Simon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun, right? And then the sons of Rachel was Joseph and Benjamin. Keep up now. So the one that he really was in love with, Rachel, she was only able to bear him 2 sons. Because what happened was God actually locked up Rachel's womb, which is interesting. But when I see what Rachel did, and God knowing all of our hearts and nobody really getting any full back detailed story on Rachel, it's a strong possibility that her heart posture was slightly trash to him because he, he locked up her womb for a minute. And then she actually stole one of her dad's little god idol thingies that he worshipped. And he was looking for it. And it was a whole thing. But I'll get into that once I do the story of Joseph. Because that's, like I said, I don't want to just jump into Joseph and boo-hoo, boo-hoo. If you want to hear that type of story, please click off of this recording and go find a boring... Well, don't even, don't click the Joseph when I post my Joseph story. Because I'm not going to just be boring straight like a robot, like how most of these things be. No. I want to give backstory, personality, wisdom, and gems, right? So, boom. The sons of Rachel's servant, because I told y'all God had locked up Rachel's womb. So, Jacob had ended up having kids with Rachel's servant and Leah's servant. So, from Rachel's servant, he had two kids, Dan and Naphtali. And then the sons from Leah's servant was Gad and Asher, right? Keep up with me now. Remember, I told y'all that Rachel was the one that he really loved. So, out of all 12 of those kids, only 2 of them were made with love. Follow me here, right? Because somebody might be, well, it'll be in the title, because genuinely this is a backstory of the importance of how we make children and why it's important to be healed before even having kids. And, if you do have kids, to take some time out to heal so you're not bleeding on your kids and causing them trauma and damaging them emotionally or any other way to where they end up growing up to be, the next Lorena Bobbitt or the next Hitler or some weird person like that. But anyway, right? So, the 2 kids that were made from Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin, were made with love. Now, there was actually a calling on Joseph's life beforehand. God knew that already. Joseph didn't know that, but God did. So, everything happened in his life the way it did because of that. But let me backtrack, right? Because Joseph, 10 other brothers were drunken off of these spirits of envy, bitterness, jealousy, maliciousness. Ironically, they were conceived outside of love, which even gave the in the womb access for those spirits to even enter them before they even entered the world. Yo, catch this, right? Which was how they were able to be so wicked the way they were. Because with the 10 brothers, they literally was going to kill Joseph because his dad favored him and Benjamin more than him. But more so the dad favored Joseph the most because, Joseph was the first one that Rachel gave him. Benjamin was his last, so he still got favored, but not as much as Joseph. So because of the favoritism that Jacob showed Joseph, that fueled those spirits that was already inserted into his brothers before they even hit the earth, which made it way too easy for them to even want to kill him. It was not even a thought or a no-brainer for them to want to kill him. Why? Because of the spirits that were introduced to them before they even hit the earth, because of how they were conceived. So what am I getting at? Let's look at modern day time, right? You have so many people who are having children out of spite, right? Boom shakalaka. Because they had a child out of spite, whichever party participated in the spiteful manner, whether it was the female or the male. Let's be clear on that. Or it could have been both. Let's just be clear. But because the spirit of spite was operating through one of the parties, it was easy to transfer demons into the baby before the baby even hit the earth. Right? Like, you'll notice people who have kids out of spite will genuinely, one of the most common phrases you will hear them say is, "My kid's bad as hell." You said what now? Your kids are what? They're bad as what? Why? Because you had them out of spite, mama. You had them thinking that the guy that you were going to have them by would stick with you forever. You had them because that spirit operating through you wanted to destroy that man's destiny that you saw on his life. See, guys, here's the thing. People can see in the spiritual realm whether you can't, right? So if you have a witch or a warlock that sees in the spiritual realm the destiny and calling on your life, they get designatedly sent to you. These are familiar spirits. These are the people who will come to you, and coincidentally, they'll move super fast with you, and it'll seem like you guys have so much in common. No, y'all don't have nothing in common. The reality is that familiar spirit been watching you, and it knows you. That's how it knows how to fake the funk through that vessel, right? So then the vessel swindles you, right? So now you end up having kids with somebody who makes your life a living hell, right? There was so much hope and future in your life before you met so-and-so. And once you met them, coincidentally, your whole life started going down. That's not a coincidence. Please understand this. That is a part of spiritual warfare. But see, these are things that take place in real life every day. Whether we choose to participate in it or not, it's still taking place and it's still happening. Understand that, right? So, back to my kid's bad as hell. Yeah, because you had them out of spite. And demons entered them when they was in your womb. And then all of the demons that was in her was leeching onto the baby too, because guess what? Now the dude ghosts her, right? Or some weird stupid stuff happened, right? So now guess who comes into the picture? Bitterness, resentment, hate. Hi, that's the gang. That's what starts that whole independent, all my ladies. What? No. God did not put us here to be independent ladies. What are you talking about? We're supposed to be with our kings. We're supposed to be with our husbands. Our heads, we're supposed to be with them. We're supposed to be covering them in prayer daily. That's what the Bible means when it says to cover our head. That's a gem nugget straight from wisdom in heaven. Catch that, please. But yes, that's how you properly cover your head. You pray for your husband daily. And don't let the spirit of anger, bitterness, or anything else prevent you from praying for your husband daily. Because best and believe they will try to make you not pray for your husband daily. I promise you they will. Right? But listen. So boom. Oh, and some may ask, well, how could these demons have access to you in the first place? Okay, I'm glad you asked. Well, the fact that we, as humans, end up having sex outside of marriage, that's an automatic open door for all kind of demons. Hi, that's why sex is highly promoted outside of marriage so much. Because the entities and principalities in charge of mass media know that. That's why sex is promoted and highlighted so much to the point where you can't even get it out your face. That's not a coincidence. A bunch of Instagram models popping up, male and female, thirst trapping everywhere, left and right, from Facebook and everything down, and now all of a sudden Twitter turned to like a text site Pornhubish thingy, I've heard. Really? For real? This stuff be right in our face, guys. They love to play right in our face. But because they dumb us down with entertainment and stuff, it distracts us from what's really happening. But anyway, let me reel you back in, right? Boom. Let's come back, right? Because the demons with the babies, right? So now that's where my kid's bad as hell. That's where they come from. The kids is not bad. They're just highly demonically possessed. Because let's be clear on one thing. Demons are spirits. They need vessels. Every single walking, living thing, whether it be male, female, or animal, or insect, is a vessel. Whether we choose to be filled with the Holy Spirit or demonic spirit, some kind of spirit is finna fill you. I'm gonna let you know that right now, whether you choose to acknowledge it or not. Yeah. So, with that being said, right? These will be the people who will end up growing up becoming terrorists so easily, disrespecting people too easily, quick to kill somebody too easily. Why? Because they've been dumped down to a conscience. See, when you're overly demonically possessed, your conscience no longer exists. So you don't even think twice about evil things. Right? And so this is, look, boom, this is a perfect example of how I want to prove to y'all what I'm saying. And the movie that I'm referring to, oh, you know I'm linking it to this video. Absolutely. So there's this movie, right? Costly Sacrifice. Where it's these kids, they in college, right? But let's backtrack a little bit, because the one boy, he's a cult member. I forgot his name. Handsome young man. He's a famous actor in a bunch of the movies too, though. He actually played in that other movie I mentioned before, but really good actor. He plays a cultist. And how he even became a cultist. Okay, let's backtrack really quickly to his childhood, because his mother, right, got a sister. The sister had a husband. The husband raped her, which came the cult son. Which means this child was born out of ill will, right? Because he raped her. So that's evil intentions, ill will. So her and her sister actually like fall out, have this whole big unforgiveness battle, all of this drama, right? Mad gibberish start happening in her life. So the one who gets raped, her life goes downhill because of the son that she had outside of being married, because that's looked down upon really bad in Nigeria. So the mother, from her life going down and everything, due to her being raped from her sister's husband and having him, the son, she starts, verbally abusing him, talking about she hate him and he made her life a living hell, and she pretty much bleeding on him, right? Because that was a wound that she was supposed to heal while she was pregnant with him. But that's another story for another video. I'll go into that about the healing and the bleeding and the wounds. As a matter of fact, I think I did that before. Yes, in my mother wounds video, healing from my mother wounds video. So if you get a chance, check that out. If you have not already, please check that out because oof. But yeah. So, right, she's telling him this and treating him like trash. She like mushing him around, just really treating him like garbage. She's treating him like she don't want him. And from that, boy, did it stick with him. So he grew up with this stuff ringing in his ears, playing in his mind over and over. And sure enough, ding, 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 he grew up and ended up becoming a cult member. Right? So now he's a cultist, sacrificing girls on campus, from the campus for money and power, right? And okay, the sister who had the husband, she actually ended up having a son. But her son grew up in the Lord and was, trying to win souls for Christ and things like that. Yo. He was in the same school with the cult boy. So if you following the story, y'all, they're cousins and don't even know it. But just follow me, right? They think they just go to school together. Because the cult boy had ran away from his mom when he was small from her. He got tired of her abusing him. And these kids over there in Nigeria, they will join a cult very young, like 8, 9, 10 years old. Yeah, they will join a cult. Just like in the United States, we have kids 8, 9, 10 years old who will start selling drugs, gangbanging, shooting people. You know what I'm saying? It's no different. Same thing. They just different areas. Hello. And they call it gangs over here. Over there, they call them cults. Over here, y'all call them gangs. We call them gangs. But it's really cults. But that's another story for another day. So check it, right? So the one boy, he evangelizing, trying to win the cult boy's soul for Christ. And he keep telling him, yo, God, leave me alone, leave me alone. But one day the cult boy end up confessing to him about a murder he committed because he felt bad about it. So his cousin, he's like, yo, guy, yo. So like, he's really trying to get him to give his heart to Christ. Like, yo, you tripping, bro. You got to give your heart to Christ for real. Still ain't want to listen. So he up there getting saucy one day with his girlfriend, getting saucy. They drinking, partying, having a good old time. Yo, your man's fall out, start coughing blood. So come to find out, because of his over usage of alcohol, right, he started having health issues. So now with these health issues, he goes to the hospital and they find out that one of his kidneys, he needed a kidney. So with him needing a kidney, because, okay, prior to him needing a kidney, with the drunk situation, he actually, something happened. He got beat up or something. Yo, it was crazy because the cousin found him like on the side of the road or something like that, beat up, and he brought him to the hospital. And in the hospital, that's when he found out that he had the kidney issue. And, they was like, yo, he's roughly going to need about 2 million naira to do a surgery and a donor. And the guy's like, man, okay. So he goes to tell his mom, like, yo, somebody from the school got some stuff going on. They, it's a hospital bill in the midst. Mom needs some bread to help pay for it. 2 million naira, it's nothing, right? The mother snapped. She like, yo, you in this trying to save people business. I'm sick of this. Don't talk to me about it no more. So now, I really want to say he was led by the spirit of pride, to be honest, because he could have really prayed for that boy to turn his situation around, but he called himself, doing the surgery for him and donating the kidney and whatnot, to the point where he ended up losing his life to save his cousin's life. And in the midst of all of that, that's when his mother found out that cult boy was her sister's son. And her son died, and it was just really messy. But that definitely was a costly sacrifice because he lost his actual life saving his cousin. And the cousin ended up giving his heart to Christ after that, because he thought, when the doctor told him that somebody donated a kidney for him, he thought it was one of his cult friends. And it was not one of them. But it was the boy who was his cousin who kept trying to win him for Christ. Which was wow, right? Go figure. But yeah, so what am I getting at with this? How you have your kids matters. Okay? Please, before you conduct any sexual behavior, especially if it's outside of marriage, for the most part, try to avoid it. Right? For the most part, try to avoid it. Absolutely. But if somehow, or if it's before you giving your heart to Christ and you're sexually involved because you're in a relationship with somebody, try to wait. Hang tight, hang 10. You guys do hard work, do homework. Because in reality, there are too many relationships that got based off of physical attractions and physical desires that should not have even existed, that created children that should have not existed, because they was born outside of the will of God. Technically everybody who is born outside of a marriage that God put together is born outside of the will of God. Does that make them less of a blessing? Absolutely not. However, if a child does come into play, you definitely want to take the time to do hard work and evaluate and really genuinely ask yourself, what motive are you doing this from? What motive are you doing it out of? No lie, I kid you not, guys. When I did find out I was pregnant with the prince, I found out at 4 months, first of all. But for me, I had the option to, abort or keep. And for me, personally, I wanted to keep him. Why? Because, shoot, I wanted to have my own person that I could love, Because I didn't get love growing up, which I understand why, because of events that played out later in my life. But I could never get the genuine love that I desired and I wanted. So for me to have my child was yay, now I get to have somebody who I can actually love. So absolutely, I kept my baby. He was kept in a spirit of love. And in reality, the prince, he is not a terrorist. Like, things happen in life, events happen in life because of certain things and, environments and whatnot. But overall, that is truly a blessing from the Lord. Hear me when I tell you, right? So, let motives be highly questioned when anything is involved, especially with bringing a whole life into the world, Because if you're doing it out of spite, I promise you, you're not finna bring in a blessing you're not finna bring in a blessing from the Lord. You finna bring in another demon seed that's finna be terrorizing your life and the world. For what? Don't even do it if that's the case. Heal. Mend your heart. Have Christ in your heart to where you're not even operating from bitterness, envy, jealousy, or spite. Right? I promise you, you will genuinely see a difference. And if you really think about it, when you look at situations of people who have more than one kid, where they'll show their kid, like the one kid favoritism over the others, more than likely that's the one that was made with or in love. You know what I'm saying? And it's a different demeanor with them. But then too, that can birth negative spirits in the other kids. So as parents, having more than one child, that's one thing you don't want to do. Do not show favoritism to none of your kids. Let you love all of them equally. Right? And so, boom, here go another example I'm going to give you guys. And I'll link this movie in this description as well. It was a movie with this girl, right? I think it's called The Devil's Prayer or The Devil's Will, something like that. But anyway, so the husband and wife, right, they have 2 kids. First one is a girl. Dad is boiling hot because it's a girl. So he treat her like trash. Yoink. From him treating her like trash, she keeps all of this in her emotional memory bank, right? Which is now her acquiring spirits of bitterness, resentment, anger, yabba dabba doo. Okay. So she's picking up these spirits, right? Because this is what the dad gave her, because that's what he gave her. The fact of him being bitter and resentful towards her was easy access for that spirit to jump right in and on her. So boom, now here it go. A brother come into the play. He showed a brother mad favor, of course, because it's a boy. And sure enough, I'll be darned, the daughter runs away. Of course, right? Because who gonna keep putting up with being treated like trash just because they're a girl? That's yeah. But anyway, so she runs away, ends up joining a cult gang. Ding, ding, ding. This just happens to be a cult gang of females who hate men and seek revenge on men. So they lure them in through sexual things and whatnot or whatever, and then kill them. Or they just kidnap them and kill them. Whatever they feel like doing. So they roll up on her parents' house. And they kidnap her parents. The parents is shook because they don't know what's going on. Mind you, she know because she know that's her parents. So she end up unveiling herself to her mom, showing the mom like, it's me. Because she was talking to her at first, telling her she's wicked. And she like, how I'm wicked? Like, what? But as she's talking to her, then she unveiled herself to show that she was the daughter. Because the mom mentioned how she had a daughter who ran away. She had a son that got, killed and whatnot. And so the daughter unveiled her identity. And from her unveiling her identity, her and the mom had that little tear shed moment and whatnot. And she was just expressing her pain to her mom from the hurt of her dad treating her like trash because she was a girl. Okay. So, the mom is in one room, the dad is in a whole nother room, right? They're both kidnapped still. So she tell her cult friends, like, yo, take good care of my mom, feed her, make sure she comfortable and whatnot, which is wild, but yeah. So, they doing that and whatnot. And And she go over to where her dad was. So now she start talking to the dad, calling him evil or wicked man and all this stuff. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'm wicked. Just please don't kill me. You know how that go. Because she had a big machine gun, So he like, whatever you say, just please don't kill me. So she ended up unmasking herself and showing the dad that she's his daughter. Now he break down, lose it, right? And she start telling him her hurt, because like, bro, that's shiesty how you treated me because I was a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't have to do me like that. Because first of all, I ain't even asked to be here, which is mad true. She's like, I ain't asked to be here. Then she's like, just because I was a girl didn't mean I didn't deserve your love, which is also super true. So follow me, right? Mind you, these are events that took place when she was a child, but now this is a whole grown woman out here running around with a machine gun, killing grown men because of a hurt that took place in her childhood that she never healed from. Are y'all following what I'm saying? Okay. So, she actually ended up finding out, though, that her friend sacrificed her brother for power with the cult guy, with the voodoo priest guy. Yeah, her friends stopped being friends after that, because what friends? But see, ironically, there was a calling on her life. God knows all of this beforehand. But see, so did the dark agents, which is the demons. So because they knew that, their ultimate goal was to damage the relationship between the mother and the father so it could affect the daughter so she could detour from her calling. Because up until that kidnapping with her parents, that's literally what was taking place. There was friction between her parents, right? She then ran away, holding on to this bitter and hurt. She let it grow and accumulate to where now she running around with a machine gun killing guys. She was supposed to be winning souls for Christ, but she up here taking souls, winning them for the devil, killing people, killing these men. She was supposed to be helping lead them to Christ, helping them get their heart right and repent. But because the devil knew that, he used that foothold on her of unforgiveness. Because had she been forgiving her father, she wouldn't even went that route and became a cult member with the gang of girls that was running around killing men. Because she would have forgave her father. So if you, right, because think about it. If you operated from a place of forgiveness, there's no need for revenge, right? Let's be real. Only a mindset of unforgiveness seeks revenge. Think about that. Nobody who is genuinely forgiving somebody for something is trying to get revenge for it. Hello? So, with that being said, if you have not already given your heart to Christ, please do. The sooner, the better. Okay? Every day is a present. We do not know how big or small it's going to be. So let us take it for what it is, a present. Okay? Take it for what it is. If you have not checked out the Proverbs of the Day video, I definitely encourage you to. Gems get dropped in there. Wisdom gets dropped in there. That was the point of that series, because wisdom will help you succeed in life successfully. Spiritually and physically. You know what I mean? Because too many people get caught up on trying to succeed physically, but spiritually and morally they're failing, because they doing wicked and corrupt stuff to get that success. You know what I'm saying? Like making blood sacrifices and stuff. And when you got to get to that point, come on. And don't think for 1 second you can't become a blood sacrifice for somebody else, huh? Listen, one thing about playing that dirty game, it's a dirty game all around. So the same way you can bite somebody, you can get bit just that fast in that game. That game, the dirty game, don't care about nobody. Yo, the one warlock guy, high-ranking African warlock guy, gave a testimony. Your man's was so powerful, but they knew he had a powerful calling on his life, which is why they targeted him the way they did. Since young, he was in the cult. Parents initiated him, right? Yo, to the point where your man's was culting from 9 years old to 24 years old. And from the age of 9 to the age of 24, every day he had a physical pain, mostly back pains, he said, but it was actually from the snake spirit that was cast onto him and into him. But that's a whole nother story. Y'all gotta watch that too. I might link that too. I don't want to drown y'all with all these links, but yeah. Yo, your man said after all them years of serving Satan, they was going to chop his body up and eat him because they wanted the powers that was in him. Y'all better listen to what I just said. Satan let that man serve him faithfully from the age of 9 years old up until 24, tormenting him physically and mentally, while still making him do his work, while still making him think he was successful in life when really he wasn't. Tricking him out, making him think this, making him think that, right? Thinking he his friend, thinking he got all his power and he's just so groovy, just to turn around and say, oh, we finna take you up out of here and we need your body because we want the power connected to it. It was kind of like with the with Peter, when Satan asked for Peter's body. Jesus said, no, I had to pray for you. My God, made Jesus pray for me every time, anytime, every time. Because when you know, you know. Think it not strange, y'all. We love y'all. Behave.